This meeting is being recorded.
Okay, all right. I'm recording it so I can learn from myself and I can learn from you all right? So hopefully you're okay with that. And then go ahead when you get the presentation for camera set up. We're gonna do an icebreaker. Okay, so icebreaker for everybody. This is how it's gonna go. I was hoping we'll have more people in the room, but that's fine. Hopefully next week you'll be in and so you can do icebreakers with us. They're really fun. This one today. All right, icebreaker. All right. Diversity, equity, inclusion. You ever heard of that term? So let's get it. She's sharing so we can look at it, and you can go to the icebreaker slide. I think I kind of did. Well, okay, this is the overview. So we're gonna try to get it out in 5:12. I'm not watching the timer, but got me on time. Got me on time. All right, because I don't want to waste time. So I get 30 minutes. I get 30 minutes of talking and doing the presentation that we have, and then we're gonna break down in our folders, which you all that are virtual, I will email you the career planning guide when we get there. So be patient, take notes, so that way with the guide you can kind of go with us. But first we're gonna do the next one. Go to the next slide. All right, so our icebreaker. So this will be fun. All right. We're gonna do hand raising instead. So on your Zoom, you should be able to see. Let me everybody here. Let me see if I can see everybody. It won't let me see everybody. Okay. Stop sharing for a second, and I want to be able to see everybody. So mute yourself for a second if you're not muted. Okay, and then hand raising. So if you're on Zoom, you've never used Zoom before, you see there's a happy face with a plus sign in it. There's reactions. It's a hand raise. All right. So if you've ever had this happen to you, raise your hand. If not, keep your hands down. The activity we're going to do is diversity, equity, inclusion based, which means you hear about companies, they want to have an inclusive space, which is anybody from different walks of life. Usually inclusive means that they have more of a preference for individuals who are neurodiverse or have a gender preference, right? Those type of individuals, that's what inclusive preferably usually means. Equity is everything is equal. So if you go ahead, yeah, take a seat anywhere. We're gonna do our activity. So equity is if you've ever had right across the board. Usually when you are working in a company and let's say there is a chair. We'll use chair as an example. The chair for one person is small, the chair for another person is big, the chair for somebody else is like enormous, and that's nothing is equal, right? So equal, the activity I wanted to do is, we'll do the icebreaker. Raise your hand if you've ever been fired from a job. Raise your hand. No, use the symbol so I can write, so I can know. Reactions button, and then raise your hand if you've ever been fired from a job or let go or off. All right, I see it. Don't be scared because we've all been there in some type of capacity. Okay, I've been fired. Raise your hand. All right, we've all kind of been there some type of way. All right, good. All right, I see quite a few people. Thank you. All right, put your hands down. And if you've been disrespected on the job. All right. All right, can you, this is Avery. Hello, everyone. And then All right, so I see Rita, Kimberly, Cecil, Shantae, anybody in here has been disrespected? All right, yes, I've been disrespected on the job. I'll tell you a quick story. I had a boss, this is how I knew I wanted to go into career development. I had a boss that he would manipulate the pay for caregivers when I was working as a talent acquisition manager for a home care company. He would manipulate their pay. And so what I would do, I would get mad with him. You're gonna take people's pay away. It may look like a couple of cents, but that couple of cents can do so many things, especially for a caregiver. All right. So I was like, we're gonna get through this. And so eventually, yeah, I was like, you know, I can't work for you no more. You're gonna mess with people's money, you know, you're gonna mess with my money one day. So yes, so that was my quick story there. Thank you for that. So next one, raise your hand. And this is, we're talking about right now, equity and inclusion. So you can see there's other individuals who've been through the same, you've been through similar situations, right? They've been disrespected, they've been let go from their jobs, they had all of these issues happen. So we want to so we've had you can just kind of do what you need to do. Okay. We kind of got started, so it's all good. And so about that diversity, right? Or equity. Individuals not having the same type of background that you do, or similar situations that you've had in the past. Now let's talk about diversity. So let's say you were to go inside of the organization, and one of the things that you're looking for at that particular company is what everyone looks like. Does anybody there look like you? Does anyone there have colorful hair? Does anyone have the same skin tone as you? Does anyone there dress like you dress, right? That's what you're looking for when it comes to diversity organization. So there might be, when you go into a interview and you look around and everybody's wearing a suit and tie, and you're like, I didn't put on a suit and tie today. I didn't know that was the etiquette for the company. So there you can always start to feel as if you're not meant to be in that, be there in that interview. You are meant to be everywhere that you are at any moment. Okay. So let's say, raise your hands here. If you've ever walked inside of a room, any room, professional or personal, and you felt uncomfortable. Let's see everybody, right? You walked in the room and you felt uncomfortable. Okay. That is the same thing. I don't see enough hands raised. Okay. Corey, Beatrice, are you with us? Just hands up. Okay.
I'm here.
There you go. All right. I want to make sure that you all are with me here. All right. Even though you're virtual, I want you to be involved in this. So good. So if you walked in the room, you felt a little uncomfortable. Most of the time it's because of the people that are already there, right? It may not be that room or that environment, it's the people that make you feel that way. So if you go inside of the interview and you are uncomfortable in that interview, the way that you can combat that is by putting a smile on your face, by letting yourself know my imposter syndrome that I'm going through. It is the people here, they don't know me, right? You gotta be known, you gotta be seen. All right, you come anywhere you go, you wanna be able to be seen, okay? So, last couple of us, raise your hand if you have graduated high school or have a GED. Raise your hand, GED, okay? Good. All right, seeing quite a few people. I'll give you guys a second to get your hands up. All right. I don't see Austin, I don't say first name, Liliana, Zuri, Jasmine, this last person here. If you're with us on the phone, it might be best if you were on the computer. Okay. All right, so it seems like the majority of everybody has they have their high school diploma or GED. Raise your hand if you went to school for a certification, you got a bachelor, you got some type of continuing education under your belt right now. It can be a certificate, it can be a license for something, a skilled trade. Raise your hand if you got that under your belt at this moment. All right, Corey does, Kimberly does. Sean does, okay, all right. You ladies here, what do you have? You have your DP, what's the DP? Okay, it's gonna be open in one day. Well, hopefully. I know the lady that has the Brandon location that takes the Pearson, what's it called? The testing, yeah, testing center. Yeah, the owner of the company, I know her. She's a pretty cool lady. What about you? What do you have? Medical assistant, okay, good. What do you have? You have CNA, okay, good. I see a lot of healthcare. Rita, what do you have? What is your continuing education certificate or license?
I don't have one. I put my
You don't
hand
have one, okay. What would you want to have?
my cosmetologist license and to fix my business license.
Okay, business license, is that what I heard?
Yes, to fix them. I have them, but they're expired.
Okay, all right, good. So you're gonna get it again. Corey, what do you have?
I have my HVAC certification.
Okay, that's great. Okay, really cool. I know a lot of companies right now that are needing your expertise. So hopefully you'll be a hot commodity, you know, in a couple of weeks. Yes, man, what do you have? Jasmine, are you with us? What's your continuing education certificate, license, or degree?
I don't have any.
Okay, what would you like to have?
A child care license.
Child care license. Okay, all right, good. Kimberly, what do you have?
Bachelor's in science.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. What do you want to do with it?
Well, I work for Metro now. Sorry. So.
Oh, okay. Okay. Whatever about you. Let's see. Brianna, what do you have? Or am I saying it right? Brianna Gilmore, what do you have?
Oh, I don't have anything.
Okay. What would you like to have?
I would like to have a certificate in some type of trade.
Okay. Type of trade.
CNA.
Okay. All right. All right. Hopefully, while we're walking through this process, that you get some more clarity into what you want to do, and I hope everybody can get a little bit more clarity in what they want to do, because there's so many opportunities out right now. It just really takes you going out there and getting those opportunities, right? Making yourself available and finding the ones that are right for you. Not every company is going to be the company for you. Not every industry or trade is going to be the trade for you. Okay. And let's see here. So I'm going to do one more. Zuri, let's make sure you're here with us. What is your certificate or license or the degree?
Are you saying my name? Oh,
Yep.
okay, sorry.
Zuri, that's on the phone and on the screen.
I'm on the screen, but I am on the phone. I have an associate's degree.
You have associates. What's your associates in?
It's in liberal arts, but I also have some credits towards my business management degree, my bachelor's.
Business management. Okay, good. So what do you want to do with that degree once you're done with it?
I'd like to apply it to my life and try to find a career in business management. I'm not sure exactly what it'll be yet, but I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, all right, that's fine. All right, good. So it sounds like everyone has some type of plan right now, right? Am I correct? Somebody has a little bit of a plan, kind of got to get the kinks worked out and stuff like that. So can you present again? We'll go to the next one. So while you're in this journey with me, right? I like to call it a journey because every day is a journey. Every day is a stepping stone. You're going to learn something new each day, whether you feel like you are or not. You always learn something new. So while this workshop series, whether you're virtually or you're in person. I would love to have you all come in person one day with us so that way we can get some great things to happen. So I kind of talked about who I am, so I'm gonna skip through this pretty quickly. I'm a mom, I have a daughter, and I have a dog. Dexter's no longer with us anymore. We had to kind of give him away. I'm from North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina. Love Charlotte, but I will not go back. Okay. Just kind of it's home for me. Celebrating about five years here this year. And so really super excited to get what I was doing there when I was in my undergrad and I was doing human resource management and bringing it here to Tampa and helping individuals get where they need to go in their careers, right? So just growth for me. I am a Christ believer, so I will occasionally talk about how faith is involved in what your career path is, your professional development, okay? So if you hear me talk about that, it's because I have nothing but purpose in my life for what you all want, and how my purpose is gonna get you there, right? So on to the next slide. And right over there, she is my wonderful assistant. She is doing an amazing job. She just started with me, and so this is a learning experience for her as well. So we'll get to it. Okay, all ready for the get stuff? All right. Hopefully online you all have your papers ready. Take some notes. Next time you come in, you can get a notebook and some of the hard copy things that we have. Okay. So Pearson Workforce Solutions, that is my business, okay? That is my recruiting firm that I have. Started back in 2020 when that same boss that I told you guys that I was done working for him for, I was like, we're done. I can't work for you no more if you're gonna mess with people's pay and salaries. So I started out with doing career coaching, resume services. That's why I became certified in both of those areas. And then I wanted to do more. I thought as if I'm not doing enough of that, I'm just helping someone halfway through. I'm not helping them all the way through. And when you go to school for human resource management, you learn a lot about the workforce. You learn a lot about corporate world and what they do and do not do, and how you can help make them a lot better. So I said, I want to start my own recruiting firm. So I did. And so that's what we're doing now. I have a team of four at this moment, and they are helping to fill some of those roles. So 200 was not by myself, it was a team effort. And I truly believe that if you are a part of an organization, you should be a part of a team, not just an employee, not just a number. You need to be a part of a team, right? You're not doing it on your own. So that's me. That's who I am. That's what Pearson Workforce Solutions is. Career Growth Academy. It is an entity of Pearson Workforce Solutions. So this is what we do. Career Growth Academy. We do workshops, whether in person or whether virtually. The last couple of years has been mainly virtually. And we also have a course as well, an online course that individuals can take in conjunction with the workshops. Okay. What we have. And you will all get access to the course, Career Growth Academy course online. I'll send that to you in emails, some of that stuff too. All right. So today we are going to talk about career growth and the mindset shift. All right. That's why I want to start off with that type of icebreaker that we can pretty much open up and say, others have been in the same situations that we've been through, right? Right? You're not alone in this journey that you're going through. So I'll go back for me. At the last slide. Go back a little more. I thought we kind of skipped one. All right. So when you're making this transition in the industry, right? When you make changes, thing that you should look out for is, first off, is it self-generated, where you are taking that initiative yourself to leave the current position that you're in, or you're taking your own experiences and wanting to elevate them, right? So you may not want to be a CNA, you may want to be a nurse one day, right? So you have to push yourself to get to that point, because with those different changes in your life, that means you have to take more certifications, you have to do certain things to make it happen, right? So that's self-generated. Then you got the involuntary, COVID. You lost your jobs, right? That was involuntary experience that you had to go through, which forced you into having to get a different job in a different industry. Or it might have forced you to take the faith and go and get your certification in something, or go back to school, or it may have made your life a lot tougher at the time. But I'll tell you this, there's always a rainbow at the end of the storm. Okay, I live off the model. There's always a rainbow at the end of the storm. So I'm gonna ask a question while we're going through to make sure everybody's with me, especially online. Okay, so I see Zuri already. Liliana. Herman, is that her name? Hernandez?
Yes, hello?
Okay. All right. Yes. So, do you feel like through COVID, I'm going to ask questions throughout, so I want to make sure everybody's listening in.
Miss Pearson,
Yes.
somebody got a baby and I keep being interfere with your voice and their mic keep on connecting and I can't really hear you.
Yeah, I think it's the 11:30. This phone was calling from their phone. 352 573-1130. Can you mute your mic? Can you mute them?
That's not me.
It's not you, Zuri. I think it's Terry. Terry,
Okay.
can you mute your Zoom?
Yeah. I'm talking to Zuri right now. So it was Zuri that I was talking to, Liliana.
Yes.
Okay, Zuri, can you mute your mic for us? And
Sure.
Jack.
Give me 1 second.
Okay. All right, so we'll mute until I call your name, but be present. All right, because we're gonna call your name. This is a training. This is a workshop. You gotta be here with me. All right. So you're virtual. I'm gonna call you on more than I'm calling people in here because I know that they're with me. All right. So my question for you was, go back one more slide. All right, great. So we're here. So have you had to make a transition in your life that was involuntary the last couple of years, Ms. Hernandez?
Yes, I actually had to take a home health aid course back in 2017 after I left college because of my circumstances. So I just had to find another outlet just so I could support myself, basically.
Okay, all right, good. So pretty much that was an involuntary, you're saying, right? An involuntary experience you had to go through.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so how has your transition helped you since 2017? What have you done since 2017 to get through this transition in your life?
Well, I had moved to Ohio and used that while I was up there because up north, there's a lot of positions where you're working like at the residents' homes. So that helped me a lot. But eventually, like down the line, I like just recently I just went to school for real estate. So I'm in the process of that and waiting for the state to get back to me to approve my application so I'll be able to take my state exam. So it just helped it, the HHA license certification just gave me a little push just financially. You know, it's not something I really wanted to do, but it did help financially.
Okay, all right, good. So it kind of helped you to push through. I'm gonna come back to you because at this point where you are, you're finishing out something new, a new journey in your life, especially with real estate. It's time for you to find a mentor in that space. Okay, someone get you further along so you can see what it's like, maybe doing a job shadowing or an internship, something that will help you progress even further down the career path that you're taking. Okay.
Okay.
So good. So keep that in mind. Take note of it just in case I forget.
Okay.
I want to go to Austin. How do you say the first name? Kanisha Austin. Are you with us?
It's Kanashi, yes.
Kanashi. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Kanashi. I'm going to get it right. Have you gone through a transition the last couple of years that required you to make have you gone through a transition the last couple of years?
I'm going through a transition right now. I recently just got laid off after working there for 3 years. So I'm just trying to utilize the resources that are there for me right now to try to get through this transition.
Okay, well, good. So it's voluntary transition that you're having to go through. Okay, so which means that you're ready to make a pivot in your career path. I hear the little ones in the background, so I'm gonna add actually one last question here. So what are you doing right now in order to make this pivot?
Of course, this course here, my job being that it was a layoff, they did something rapid response with Career Source. And Miss Topeka, she helped me, she sent me some resources as far as jobs and stuff. And I'm just like reaching out to, whoever to try to make sure that I don't have a financial loss for a long time.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Yeah. Especially when you get laid off from a job, and it's the worst thing that can ever happen because you're never expecting it. It usually happens at the worst time of the day, right?
Right.
At 5 o'clock, they say, hey, it's time to go, right? And leave your stuff with you. So you are not alone. There's plenty of people who have went through that situation before. But when you're in that, where the involuntary transition is having to happen, it is what you do next that is what's going to be key for you. So if you have a desire to go into real estate like Ms. Hernandez does, then you go ahead and you make that a priority to get you to that next level, because it may be involuntary, but there's always a reason why. Okay. So good. So we'll go to the next one. I'm going to move a little quick because I can't keep up. I'm not. Okay. All right. All right. So phase one, understanding your why will get you far. Have you ever heard, tell me about yourself, right? In an interview? That horrible question to ask. What do you do? What do you do if they ask you, tell me about yourself in an interview? What do you say?
I'm a family mom.
Okay, that's what you say? Okay, all right, what do you say?
I give them my name, introduce myself, I tell them what I do, what kind of jobs I had, my skills.
Okay, all right, good. So on the right track here, what do you say, Ms. Swing?
I normally just give my name and then a little bit about my type of, not attitude, but
Your
my
background.
personality and my
Okay.
background, because sometimes you do a little much for people.
Okay, all right.
You want to let them know.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you all something. Don't say any of the things that you're saying right now. Okay, that is not what they want to hear. They want to know. Which let me go to the next slide here, which I hopefully is on there. All right. They want to know what problems you come to solve for them. All right. So when you go into an interview and they say, "Tell me about yourself," usually your response, they already know your name, they already know a little bit about you from looking at your resume. So they want to get it on a deeper level. Get that started. They want to take it to a little bit of a deeper level, which means usually how I do it is, so I am, like I introduced myself to you all, I am a career coach. I love helping individuals find a job. That's my why. That is my why. That is what I do, right? So when you are taking some notes down here, I want you to really understand what your why is. Why are you going into an interview with an employer? All right? What is your point of doing this? When we have, I'm going to go through these bullet points here. You are looking to get promoted, right? You just recently got your, you're going to get your LPN very soon, right? So when you walk into a clinic or a hospital, they want to know why you are here, right? So what you say? What would you say? Let's work on it a bit. I want you to think about it, write it down. We'll come back to you on that one. Why are you going? Why did you get your LPN? To help people, help what kind of people?
All of them people. At first I thought it was just what kids, because being a mom, and you want to make sure you can take care of your kids and know what's happening when you go to the doctor's office, understand the big languages that they speak. And then from there it went from, now I know this, when you see what I can do when I go with my grandma to the doctor. So now I want to help older people, and I want to find out what we can do to help them and to make sure that they understand when you guys go to the doctor, what they're saying to you and how this is happening, and I wanted to be able to do that. And then it went from, okay, well, now I know about my grandma and my kids, I got them under control. Let me see about my people, because people my age don't go to the doctor. They just really just go and make sure something ain't going right when they start hurting. And then it's like, from there, I was, yeah, this way.
Okay, all right, good. I want you to simplify that into a one statement. If this is your why you are going to interview, tell them in one statement why you are doing what you're doing. Okay, write it down, write it down. All right, for you. So you said you are a stay-at-home mom, right? Multitasking, handling appointments, doing a lot of things. I met a lady one time, and she's a stay-at-home mom. She was a stay-at-home mom for like 20 years. Her kids, all of her kids grew up. And so she would call herself a momager. No, it wasn't momager. A mompreneur, right? So that's all she did was she took care of her kids. She made sure they went to their games, and she was volunteering, and she was in the schools and doing all those things, managing a lot of stuff at once for kids. Why are you a stay-at-home mom? Why are you looking for a position at a company? Let's say, why would you want to work at, I'm going to say Kaiser Medical Center? Why would you want to work there?
It would be fun to learn from others and be able to help them.
Okay, all right. And so if you were to pick out a job, what type of job description would you find?
Like I did medical assistant for a while, but my point of medical assistant was to help others, to be able to, I learned growing up, when you have family being sick all the time, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be there for other people and help them be able to understand why they're feeling that way and be able to move around out of their, little hole that they're always in, might know what the outcome or not.
All right, well, good. So you are wanting to help individuals find their next place in life, right? Okay. So that revolves around helping them to manage your day-to-day, all right? When you're a medical assistant, that's what you do. You're kind of helping the doctor manage the patients that come through, letting the patients know, hey, this is what the doctor said, and kind of taking multitask there. Go ahead and mute yourself, whoever that is. Okay, all right, good. So, here, thank you. All right, so we're gonna go back to the slide here. What is the problem that you are trying to solve? I want to get promoted to the next level of my career. My path I'm on is not fulfilling, and I don't want to stay here for the long haul. All right, everybody's kind of been there at one point or another. I want to accomplish personal goals, but my career conflicts with them. I have to pivot due to industry changes. It's time for my second or third act. I'm ready to do what I'm passionate about. So if you resonate with any of these problems here, raise your hand. Any of these problems here, raise your hand. Okay, yep, I see some hands being raised. All right, good. There are, and then we'll kind of go here. Some more hands coming up before we go to the next slide. All right, I see Cecil and Rita. Thank you for being present with us. We'll go to our next slide. All right, so problems that you're trying to solve, okay? These are how you solve these problems. Money is not the top priority. Or anything deeper than that. I never want you to think about just the money aspect of things because money is the root of all evil. We all heard that saying before. So we want to think a little bit deeper. Is it the type of work environment that I want to be in? Is it having a great work-life balance? Is it being fulfilled on the job? Do I want to give back to my community? Do I want to, do certain things that I'm passionate about? Do I want to work in an art studio because I'm passionate about art, right? So those are things that are fulfilling on the job. And then you have long-term and short-term positions. It is okay to go to a staffing company to fill a need at for a small time because you know that there's a longer term position coming your way. All right. And then investment in your self and your family. We've all maybe you've all heard about tech, and that's being the new industry to be in. You gotta thrive. You're gonna thrive in technology and things of that nature. But is it an investment that you're willing to make that switch over into the technology industry, right? And is it going to be for you or is it going to be for your family? All right. In technology, I'll give you a quick example here. In technology, I've heard a lot of times individuals get hired on at $120K with years of experience. Okay. Companies like Amazon, Google, the big FANG companies, right? The ones that we all like, why? They've hired individuals on with that minimum amount of experience before at the large salaries, and then they turn around 6 months to a year later and they let those same people go, and they have nothing. They can just say that they worked at Google, or they worked at Amazon, or they worked at Best Buy and the corporate side, whatever same company you want to say you work for. But then they think that because I made 120K at Google and Google let me go within 6 months, then I can make 120K at my next company that's a small startup company, right? But think about it a little bit. An investment in yourself and your family. Let's say you were to work at that company and they let you go, but you saw a startup company, they're willing to pay you 70, 80K a year, but they have equity to give you. You know what equity is? Equity is the investment in the company. That means you own a piece of that company. And so if you were ever to be let go, if that company was ever, let's say PayPal, about 10 years ago, PayPal was a startup company. PayPal offers individuals equity in their company. And you get started on at whatever the base salary is, and you have equity. So every year that you work there, you get a percentage of that company's earnings every year. Okay. That's even better because in 8 years, let's say you worked at a company and they gave you 7% equity, right? In their company, you was making 70K a year. When they let you go 5 years later, you really done doubled your income. You walked away and you made all this money for working here, right? That's a bigger investment in your family because you're walking away with so much more than just a dollar amount, right? So that's what that investment is. We'll talk about technology companies in a while because there are opportunities for every single person that's here to go inside of a technology company and make a pretty decent living with the skill that you currently have, right? So another thing here, how much time, not money, but time do you have to invest in yourself in your transition? So write this number down, whatever it is. Do you want less than 3 months? You need to make this happen. You got 3 to 6 months to make this happen. You got a year to make this happen. What type of time are you willing to invest in yourself to make this transition happen? Okay. So I'm gonna call on a couple of names. I haven't talked to Jasmine. Jasmine, how much time do you have to invest in your transition right now? Now you're on mute.
About 3 to 6 months.
Okay, 3 to 6 months. Okay, Cecil, how much time do you have to invest in your transition?
I would say about 3 to 6 months due to the program that I'm in right now, and the time we got to get out of here, and I'm trying to get my stuff together before I get up out of here.
Okay.
3 to 6 months.
So hopefully you can get yourself together. 3 to 6 months sounds like pretty reasonable. Let's go to Miss C. How much time do you have to invest in your transition?
I would say about 3 to 6 months myself as well.
Okay, all right, good. Giving yourself some time here. I forgot your name. What's your name again? Tawanda. How much time do you have to invest in your transition? Less than 3 months. All right, we'll get it. Less than 3 months. All right, so good. So it seems like here everyone wants to be by the end of this year. You want to be like getting it right. All right, I see some head nods happening. Less than a year, you need to be making this happen. You got to move quickly. So it starts out with you making some changes today, right? Making sure that you're on the right path today. Go to the next slide for me. I think that was the last one. All right. So I mentioned not to invest in the money, invest in everything else that you have. Everybody has families, right? I have some kids online. You guys have kids. You want to invest in your families. So you're looking for companies that would allow for you to have a happy work-life balance, right? Allow for you to be home at a certain time. Sometimes it works out better for you to work remotely or in a hybrid situation. But you have to be knowledgeable in what that expectation is, right? When you go into the interview, you got your why statement, right? You say, okay, I'm here because I want to, help people, and I feel that I have a bigger mission over my life, and it revolves around me incorporating some of these things, investing in my family, and making sure that I live in a good environment, that I have a good work environment, that I can make sure my kids have dinner every single night. Those are the things that you're going to invest in, your time in, not your money in, but your time in. Then the money comes. When you know about what the time is going to give to you, when you are investing in other things besides the money, and the money comes to you. For me to do an in-kind service today, it's not about the money for me. My company, we have sponsors. We back it up because we've been able to fill positions. So the people who have come back to me and said, hey, you filled the position, so I'm going to donate to you. You've been able to do so many things, so I'm going to donate back to you. It's not about the money for me. It is about the time that I'm giving to you all, right? So that's why I want to make sure that you're present with me in person and online, so that way you know that it's the time that I'm giving to you so you can get to the next level. All right, so go to the next slide. All right, so we've all had those negative motivators in the job search. Whether it is when money is your top priority, you aren't able to get the most out of the transition. When you look at a job description and you see the salary, this is the reason why. I'm going to tell you this from a recruiter's perspective. When you see the salary, you are less likely to, when you don't see the salary, you're less likely to apply for the job because you don't see the salary on there, all right? But you never know unless you apply how much they're willing to offer you. I just had a client of mine, she just got her job at Paul Mitchell. They had a job posting up. She has prior experience in cosmetology. She makes wigs. That was her thing that she's been doing, right? She's good at it too. She made me a wig one time. I was like, okay, real good. So she walked in there and she thought that they were going to pay her like $15 an hour. And so when she walked out, she came in there professionally dressed. She looked how they wanted to invite individuals in. Belizean woman, by the way. So she does not fit what you need to call a right? You know, you see them like Victoria's Secret, you know, that's how we see Paul Mitchell as. But for her, she walked in there best that she possibly could for everyday look. And they hired her and they offered her $20 an hour. $5 more than what she asked for, right? And that's because she came in there, she knew what her goals were. She knew that I'm going to work at Paul Mitchell one day and I'm going to get some clients from there. I'm going to learn from Paul Mitchell and all of those things. And because she went in there with her best, she got the best. She got top dollar. That's as high as they were willing to go for her, and she didn't have to negotiate it on. Right? So money is not the top priority. It should not be the top priority for you. Yes, you want to have your dollar amount in mind, but don't go in there with that as your top priority. And then taking opportunities that don't get you to that point. Don't go work at Burger King when you know that you can work at TGH. Don't, you know, if you got the experience to work at TGH, why would you go work at Burger King? All right. Beatrice, I see you with me. All right. Okay. So you, dear, you have your HHA and you're getting your real estate license. Would you go work as an HHA again once you have completed your real estate license?
No.
I think was it you, Hernandez, or was it Beatrice that wanted
Lydia.
Okay. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. It was you. I'm sorry. I thought I got a name. So you wouldn't go back, right? You're like, that's not what I want to do. I really went to school and I got the training and the certification to be a real estate agent. Why would I go back and work as an HHA? Right? Okay, so good. So don't take opportunities that don't get you to the right point. When you do want to get to the right, when you do get to the right position, you want to continue to go up from there. All right, and not let a failed sale or a deal that didn't go through or a client that just neglected you deter you from getting to the next place that you want to be in your career. All right, Ms. Hernandez?
All right.
Okay, all right, good. So we're gonna move on to the next slide.
I just want to let you know I have to jump off because I have a meeting here I have to be. I already talked to relay the message to Kim and she knows as well.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you for being here. Hopefully you'll be in person next week, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I'll be there actually in person. I do want to speak to you over that mentorship and all.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll see you then.
All right, thank you.
All right, next we're going to decision-making phase, all right? This phase here is allowing yourself to break down those barriers and giving yourself permission, all right? And so I would say from my own experience, right? I didn't think that I was meant to be in career development. I didn't think that that was possible. I was like, I went to get my bachelor's in human resource management. I thought I was going to be like typing on a computer all day long, all my life, you know? That's what I thought that I was going to do. But then I said to myself, I don't think that this is right for me, right? I don't think that I want to be here in this position any longer because I'm meant for more. So I gave myself permission to get more, to do more, right? There are times where we, just as individuals, right, we tell ourselves, I'm not good enough for this. You know, I don't think I can do this. I'm too nervous. Like, I'm just going to turn around. I'm going to go home. Like, I don't want to be here anymore. This is not for me. Like, I can't do this, right? That can't comes into place. So you got to give yourself a permission to get what you need. The barriers, go back one more. I'll talk about the barriers quickly. So barrier is barrier to wanting it, having it, and being it. You think that you can be a, what's your next position? What do you want to do? Medical assistant, right? Yeah. Okay. So you think you can be a medical assistant? Okay. You think you can be LPN? Right now? Okay. Do you think, where are you going to go next? So you're a CNA now, but I know that's not the end goal. Engineer? Ooh, awesome. Gotta get you in front of some people with engineer backgrounds. Write that for me because I might forget. All right, so Cecil. Are you with me? All right, so what is
Yes,
it?
ma'am.
What is it that you
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. What is it that you need to give yourself permission to do?
Go out and get my CDLs.
Okay. Do you think you can get your
I want
CDLs?
to be a truck driver.
Do you think you can get your CDLs?
I do need it.
You know it.
I can't get it.
You know it. Okay, that's the attitude.
Mhm.
It's better than just please or thank you. All right. I know that I can do this. I know that I can be great at what I want to be able to do, right? Don't ask
Yeah.
permission for it. You go out there and get it. All right, Cecil. Corey, you're in HVAC.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, well, I'm gonna go with Corey. Thank you, Cecil. Corey,
Yes, yes.
all right, so you're in HVAC. Do you know that you can get a good job as an HVAC technician? So you're in HVAC. Yeah.
Yeah. The barrier of not open availability has been the hardest part with that.
Okay.
Because every job I found, they want open availability, and with being with a single parent, it's been a barrier I've had with the job because of the industry
Okay. All right.
and having time restraints with my children on being
You're breaking up a
able to
bit.
get them from daycare and everything else.
Okay, so I got from there, you're breaking up a bit. So barrier is you're a single parent and they want,
And that was a plan I took with HVAC.
you're
The
single.
HVAC, the safe plan.
Okay, it might be yours. Okay, I'm gonna mute you for a while. I think I got your barrier a little bit. All right.
They want open availability.
Okay. You are a single parent, they want open availability, but you have other priorities, right? That is your barrier that you're trying to get through. Okay. I think that's what I got, right? Thumbs up. And daycare.
The barrier is the availability issue with the HVAC.
Okay, all right, thank you. Thank you, Corey. It might be me. Because I feel like this screen is kind of lagging. All right, so when it comes to barriers like that, you're gonna always come across that. Right? There's nothing you can do about it. But you have to know that there is ways that you can combat that barrier. You, my sir, dear Corey, there's a way that you can get the job that you're looking for that won't allow for you to have that time constraint, okay? Availability is the issue. But then that means for you as well, you have to come up with a tight schedule for you and your family. I'm a single parent. I know there's plenty of single parents in here now, but one thing that we do, we got a tight schedule. I time block my day. I time block my day from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. That's me time. That's me doing house stuff. That's me exercising. That's me doing whatever errands I have to do. And then after that time, from 3 to 5, I time block that for my daughter. That's pickup time. That's time for her. That's time that I spend on making sure dinner is done and things of that nature. So if it means for you, you only have a time frame from 8 to 3 o'clock, you can say, I have a time frame from this time. This is what I can do. All right. You have to go in there with enough confidence into the interview, into that company, and say, this is what I can offer you. If you still need this person in a week, I'm available. Right. So every time you have that barrier that you have in place, just go in there and you have to know, I know what I want. I know what I can give. Okay. It's really giving yourself permission to get to the next place. Okay. All right, good. We're going to the next slide. Time for anybody. 11. All right. So I'm gonna skip through here. I'm gonna move through quickly on this next couple of ones. You can go back to that one. I'm gonna read through this one. decisions versus choices. Everybody makes a decision every single day. You make a decision to wake up in the morning. You make a choice to put on the outfit that you put on, right? All right, so own fully the decisions you have made in the past, and power you have to make the decision in the future, outlining a plan for the first action steps toward that goal. So, and then choices. With choice, it is more of a mindset approach, meaning we have a perception of what the right or wrong choice may be. Decision can be a part of a choice when choosing is not simple. For example, where deeper consideration is needed in deciding whether to take the job or not. All right. So main thing here between the decision and choices is you have a decision to go into the career path that you want to take, right? And then you have a choice to accept that job. The first job that comes, let's say, oh, they're going to offer you an offer letter. You know, they say you can start on Monday, but then deep down inside, you're like, I don't want this job. This job is not for me. I feel like I can continue interviewing. So you continue interviewing. That is a choice that you made, is to say no to that first job that offer you a position and say yes to the second one or the third one, or the one that you are preferred to have, even though it might take you a couple more weeks to get the job, or you may not be able to start as quickly as you want to. But those are the differences between the decision and the choices that you make on a daily basis. All right. Go to the next one. All right, and then we have and or statements. Mindset here, we're talking about mindset. I can be a truck driver and I can be a parent at the same time. Or I can be an HVAC and make sure that I'm home at night to pick my kids up from daycare, right? That's an and decision. Or is, would you prefer, I can be an LPN and work a 7 to 7 schedule, or I can decide to go work at not the best place to work at, a clinic that I really don't want to be at, so that way I can make it home and with my kids. And or would you want to be able to do both, or would you want to have an option there for yourself? Okay. So it's really about the word that you say out your mouth that can get you far. You can be, I can do and everything, or I can do or a little bit. All right. So next one for us, we'll move through. All right, pop quiz here. This will be quick and easy for us. Go ahead and go to the next one. Okay. All right. So don't click it nowhere because it's going to show the answers. All right. So I want you to look at these, all 10 of these, and select the ones that show a positive mindset, right? A positive thing that you can do for your life. Something that will help you get to the next point. What is it that you can do to help your progress? So 1 is step-by-step plan, right? 2, motivate self and admiring someone famous. You can select, and then for this particular one, you can select as many as you like, okay? Number as many as you want. All right, 3 is tell other people about my plans. 4 is marinate in the bad things that will stop me from getting to my goals. 5 is focus on good things that will get me to my goals. 6, avoiding bad negative thoughts with self-punishment. 7 is reward self for any progress to the goal. 8 is willpower. 9 is report progress to goal. 10 is fantasize about the goal. So there are only 5 correct answers here. All right, number them. If you want to say your answers, raise your hand, or on mic, and you can say your answers. I will tell you here, so it's not about what you're doing for someone else or about the negativity that you're putting for yourself, right? This is a mindset shift. What are the positive things that I can do for myself today that's going to help me get to my goal? We'll let a couple people go before we show the answers. All right, Rita, are you ready? Do you want to share yours?
Yes.
Okay.
I have
Serious.
number 1. Go.
Yep, you can go ahead.
I got number 1, number 5, number 6, number 8, and number 9.
Okay, all right. Number 5, number 1, number 5, 6.
8 and 9.
All right. 8, willpower. Do you think that you have enough willpower to get you to your next goal?
Yes, I do.
You do? Okay. All right. Good. Good. All right. So I see a couple other people in the chat too. Corey said 1, 2, 5, 6, and 8. You guys must have a lot of willpower.
I do.
Yeah, a lot of
I
willpower.
had 7 too, but I took 7 because sometimes when I reward myself too much, you get a little big headed. So you might want to.
You gotta have some discipline along the way too. Willpower and discipline. Okay, good. Who wants to go in here? Did you write down any? What was yours?
I put step by step to motivate steps and stuff. Focus on good things. Avoid the bad and negative thoughts with punishment and rewards for progress.
Okay, all right. I like yours. Yeah, good. What about you? Same one? Okay. All right, good. All right. Corey and Shantae, your answers in there too. So go ahead on to that next slide. Let's look at the rural answers. Oops, I'm gonna just kind of these are the right answers. Okay, so if you didn't get any of these, the reason why the ones that are highlighted are the wrong answers. My bad.
What? Are you serious?
Okay, I'm going to explain them. So number 2, motivating self and admiring someone famous. You go on Instagram or Facebook and you see somebody that got something that you don't got. What does that do for you? Nothing good, right? Make you feel bad. Number 4, marinate on the bad things that will stop you. That only puts you in a depressive state. You don't want to marinate on anything that's bad or negative in your life. You want to continue to move forward. Number 6, obviously, that's a self-explanatory. Why would you want to do self-punishment in order to get yourself to a goal, right? It doesn't make it better for you. Number 8, willpower. Willpower is not enough to get you anywhere. You have to let people know. You have to write it down. You have to be motivated with a plan to get you to that next goal. Willpower will never do enough for you. All right, you got to. It is write a vision, make it plain. It is journaling every day. It is writing out what I'm going to do, what am I to-do list for the day. That right there is a bigger willpower that you can do for yourself than actually just putting it in your mind and letting your mind run all day long with all of these things. That's where you get the adult ADHD that happens, where you feel like, oh man, I need to do laundry. But then at the same time, I also got to clean the kitchen and I got to do this. If you don't write it down, you're not going to get anything done, right? You just got to be running around in circles. So that's what willpower is in your mind. And then lastly, fantasize about the goal. Go ahead.
I'm not going to tell you but I was told that you don't let nobody know your stuff.
Not everybody needs to know your plans. The right people need to know your plans. Topeka needs to know your plans. Kimberly needs to know your plans. Those are the right people that you throw your plans to because they're going to encourage you to do the right things. If you tell somebody level as you are or below your level, that what you got planned, they're going to sabotage you along the way. All right. So you tell the right. Go ahead, Miss Rita.
And you're right. I got all these notes about my whole place. See all this I write. It's a lot of writing I do about my goals I want to do, and it's a lot of writing. So you right about that one.
Yes, exactly. You write it down every day. You write down your to-do list. You get a board and you put it up, or you just have a notebook beside your bed, and that's where you really start to make that progress, right? Is by writing down. Anybody here got a vision board? Vision board. Anybody over here, y'all got a vision board? Raise your hand. Yeah, okay. Miss Kimberly got a vision board. Nobody else got a vision board?
I have, but I lost it.
Nobody got a vision board? What is wrong? Yeah, that is cool. A vision board. Yeah, okay. Vision boards are everything. Okay. The reason being is because you took your mind and you said, I'm gonna write down, or I'm gonna put pictures, or I'm gonna put articles or whatever you want in order to get to that place. Right? And then once you get to that place, you can just check it off the list. One of my visions for this year, when I first started off the year, my car, my last car that I had, it broke down on me the week of my birthday. I was so mad. I was without a car for like 2 weeks. I was like, this is the worst. Okay. And then on my vision board was for me to get a new car. But I wanted specifically a SUV, and I wanted it all black. I wanted it fancy, right? You know? And so I was like, dang, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. This is like, oh, it's gonna be costly. We're in the pandemic. They charge extra for these cars. So, but I still did it. It was on my vision board. Tell me why a week after I put it on my vision board, I got a new car. Come on now. All right, visions, right? I put it on there. Okay. It's on my vision board for me to do workshops and for me to be a motivational speaker within the next 10 years. That's what I want to do. I want to do it on a national level because I put it on my vision board. I know it's going to happen. I say it to you all because I want to tell people about my plans. So when I see you guys in the next couple of years and y'all doing your goals because you said out loud, this is what I want to do. And then we get there and I can be like, hey, I know you, where you at, right? I want to be that cheerleader for you. I know Mr. Topeka does, I know Miss Kimberly does, but you got to let them know what you're doing, right? All right, so are y'all with me here on the screen? Miss Sanders, Miss Beatrice, Jasmine, Cecil, y'all with me? Y'all need to write it down and make the vision, make it plain. Okay? Cool. So we got to that one. Let's do the next one. All right, so this was pretty much going over the same thing that we just talked about. Okay, so I'd like to have everybody walk over a couple action steps here. Go to the next slide for me. All right, so first off, you gotta give yourself permission, all right? Give yourself permission to go out there and get that certification, get that job. Make sure that you have your statements together when you go out there. Don't tell nobody that you're not worthy enough to get what you want to get, right? Just go out and do it. Go and do it. So give yourself permission to change and let go of full control of things that you cannot control, right? Of your circumstances. Everybody, you have families to take care of. You got your daily activities that have to get done. It is okay if it don't get done. I got a basket full of laundry at home right now that ain't get folded. It's probably not gonna get folded until this weekend. So it's okay, right? It's all right. My daughter's not gonna die. I'm not gonna die, right? But give yourself permission to not be perfect. No one is perfect and neither am I. These are statements that I want you to say to yourself in order to get you to that next place. So write them down. I'll give everybody a second to write them down. All right. It is okay. Nothing is perfect. Life is not perfect. God didn't make us perfect people. We all have flaws that we have to go through. Okay. So cool. All right. Let's see if a couple more people still writing. Okay. All right. We'll go ahead and move on to the next one. All right. Here's a couple more statements for you to write down. I give myself permission to be authentic, not expecting to master everything. Not going to be perfect at everything. I'm going to just get through it the best that I know how, right? I give myself permission to not please everyone, everything, including partners, without giving up responsibilities. If you do have a household where you have older children or you have a significant other with you in that same household, give them some responsibility. All right, let them know that, hey, you gotta do the laundry today. You gotta wash the dishes today. It is your job. I need to do something for me. I need to have a self-care moment. I need to go and get ready for an interview. I need to go and get ready for work, whatever that looks like. Give yourself permission to give up something so you can do what's better for you, right? Your passion, your goal. All right. 2 more people writing. And I made it through without anything drink. Okay, go to the next one now. I think we are almost done with this slide. All right. So action steps. All right. So you run your action plan, right? You give yourself permission to do a couple of things. You know, you taking the steps. You wrote down which ones you need to take steps on. So now I want you to hold yourself accountable. Grab a person. Grab a friend. Write down some notes. Look back at this later on today or tomorrow, and really just make sure that you're ready for what's next in your career path. And it all starts with the mind, making sure your mind is ready for what's next for you. All right. See, so I want you to have your CDL license, right? Corey, I want you to get a job as HVAC and make sure that you can get your kids from daycare, right? Oh, she left off the call. Rita, I know where you want to be in your career path and with your bachelor's, with your degree plan that you have. You have to now put some action behind it and get to where you need to go so you can take care of your family, right? So here I'm going to read through this real quick. So come up with a plan to hold yourself accountable and reward yourself for the little things. Record your progress so that you can continue to build your self-esteem and get rid yourself of imposter syndrome. I'm keeping track of what's going well for you and what can be changed. Retaining the positive information will keep you on track to meeting your career goal that you are seeking. Write down your accountability plan and email it to someone you trust and to hold you accountable. Give yourself permission to trust your decisions without feeling guilty. Eliminate the negative thoughts so you can progress in your career journey. Okay. That accountability plan, I have Ms. Topeka and Ms. Kimberly here. They need to get your accountability plan. If you don't want to send it to me, send it to them, send it to me. All right. So that way we can make sure that you're going through your plan as quickly as possible and meeting those goals. I see some people have 3 months and 6 months or less than 3 months to get to their goals, and you have to start taking some actions. Right? And I think this is the end. All right, cool. So questions, comments, the floor is open. You can unmute your mic if you have a question or something you want to ask. Okay.
When you say give yourself permission to not please everybody, and don't give up your responsibility, that hit so far home to me. So it was like you never have time for yourself because you're always helping other people. And then when it's really time for you to really give yourself permission to do something that you really want to do, it's always something that's going to stop you.
Yeah, say no. It's say no season, okay? You gotta say no. If it's not going to please me in any kind of capacity, no. All right. You have goals, and nobody's gonna help you get to your goals but you. All right. So you better tell people no. If it ain't your kids and if it ain't your spouse, nobody else should have you. All right, at this point. Anybody else? Any comments or questions that you want to ask? The floor is open right now. I'm going to take a seat while we do it.
Really quick, is it an option for you to send us these slides?
This is recorded, so you the transcript for it, or the recording for it.
You said what?
It's recorded, so yes, I can send it to you.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else from anybody? Otherwise, we're gonna go to the slide that has the next one on there. We take a break. We'll take a little break. There are donuts here if you want them, water if you also want it. Please don't let me go home with these donuts. Oh, man. Okay, I'll leave them here for y'all. The one that has the overview on it. Yes.
Ms. Pearson, I do have some one-on-one questions though.
Okay, yeah. We can ask those questions. I'll put. Yeah, might as well. Okay. Let me do this. You guys should be here for these donuts. They are absolutely great. Next week I'll bring more. How about that?
I have a question. Is it just me hearing staticking and breaking up, or is it on everybody else end as well?
No, I can hear it. I can hear it too, but it's like once it's quiet and like she's away from the computer a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like the background, maybe like technical, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. I was,
Are you ordered to your donuts? Yeah. Yeah, they are so good.
Oh, y'all so wrong about them donuts. You know what?
I'll come downstairs.
So coming downstairs for the donuts, okay. Rita, I put my email in the chat for you. So okay.
Yes, ma'am, I got you.
How long is the break?
Hi, Rita.
We'll get going. See, I can't see the time.
Hi, Boo.
11:21. All right, sorry, 11:25. Then we'll. See, I put my. I didn't know how to think about them. Trying to stay with you.
Well, you can't come back with no more, but she bring it down.
Don't
bring them down.
Listen, I got some little nice spots. I was like, we'll do donuts today. It's so good. Okay, cool. So there is a pre-workshop survey that was up there. This would just kind of give me a little idea about what you all are expecting. Online, I'm going to send digital copies of everything that we're going to do for the next 30 minutes. And so I put my phone number and email inside of the chat. So you can send me your resume first off. Okay, I'm gonna look at it. I will set up some calls with you all so that way that I know I talked to a few people that I have some connections and I want to be able to get you where you need to go. So if that's the case, I need to have a conversation with you one-on-one. All right. So cool. Thank you. You're welcome. Yes, of course. You like it too. Well, hopefully everybody's getting a little bit of joy out of it. All right.
I was just on the phone just to, just then when I came in, I was like, come on now, but you can say she. I'm like, thank you, Lord. I'm like, oh my God, you've been around. Hello. I get ready. Look at her. You need to come. I mean, everything. Yeah, that's the only reason. Well, come on, and there's napkins right there too. Y'all can out if you want. We can bring. Yeah, you want, you can bring it out. He gonna be loud. If I had to have a charge. I know he knows.
That makes sense. Yeah, little ones. Okay. So. Yeah, next Wednesday.
Yes.
No. Yeah, Wednesday. We have to move today. Yeah. Yeah, I know. He was telling me, but it's okay. All right, cool. So online, you guys can't see this very well, but I will send you digital copies. Are you ready to get back into it? We're gonna do our next one, and then we're trying to be out of here on time. You're on time, you're late, you're on time. All right, so cool. So, if you all have this right here, okay? In this workbook or in this folder, there was the career planning guide, and then on the other side is Rock to Rock an interview. So I'll explain the Rock to Rock an interview. These are just interview questions and responses as well. We're going to do a mock interview session. It would be awesome if everybody was here for the mock interview session in week 3. So not this week, but the week after. And we're going to do mock interviews together. So if you enjoyed this so far, then you will want to be here for the activity we do for this. This will be fun. But these are some interview questions for different industries. And so you can go through it and kind of just practice a little bit or just see what it's about. The whole goal of the mock interview session in week 3 is to, and there's a schedule too. I think everybody got the color paper with the schedule on it. Mock interviews is to prepare you for what it's like to be in an interview session. All right. And we're gonna have Miss Lovely Avery do headshots in week 3. Headshots are gonna be in week 3. So I hope you heard me. Week 3, we're doing headshots. Okay. Yes, it's on the calendar. All right. There will be we have a special guest. This is another resume writer that I worked with. She's going to come up from Manatee County. I think that's what she is. And she's going to talk with everybody about some of those barriers that we go through. She works with a lot of executives and getting executives hired. So this would be a great opportunity for you to ask some questions regarding our corporate environment. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Great. So, and then just want to go over the rest of those schedule. Next week, it is we're going to talk about professional brand versus your personal brand. Okay, they kind of go side and side, but it's going to really we're going to combine what that looks like. If an employer was to see you on Facebook, because you know Facebook is still public, even though you might set it as private, you want to come out as the best type of person for them.
Some people will go on there to see if they will hire you after they've hired you. They look at your profile and say, this is not the same person I interviewed with. I changed my mind. You know, but when I go to work and when I get home from work, I ain't got nothing to do with you either. Yeah. But they kind of go coincide together. Take my Facebook page down. Why don't get no job?
So we're going to talk about next week professional versus a personal brand, and then talk about some of our skills, hard skills, soft skills, transferable skills, especially if you're switching industries or you're trying to go into something new. Then week 3, this is where we're going to do headshots. Week 3 is headshots. And then we're going to talk about some of the certifications or the training that you may need to get you into the next level. So this, within the next couple of weeks, just expect for me to reach out to you and talk to you on a one-on-one basis about what your career plan looks like. And so it's going to make it a lot easier to figure out like what you want to do, like where I need to get you connected with somebody with for a mentorship, or to what certifications you need to get into, things of that nature. From what I'm hearing so far from everybody, I would like to try to get everybody connected with somebody, some employer or just in some network, whatever, so that way you can kind of thrive. And then week 4, we're going to talk about some of these interview questions. This is where we're going to do mock interviewing. It's not week 3, it's week 4. Week 4 is mock interviews. You'll get this in an email, this color paper in an email. Mock interviews come in here, business professional, like you are going into an interview, because you're going to be sitting across the table from somebody and they're going to interview you with select questions that I've picked out. So you want to come out across as the best version of yourself. All right. If you feel good, you look good, you do good. All right. Week 5 is when our special guest comes. Her name is Kate. She's driving up from Manatee County, so she's going to be talking about like like what to do when you're trying to accept an offer letter, some of those barriers that you can get in that process phase, because it is a phase in order to get to the next position. And then finally, we got week 6. If you needed your resume updated or looked at, yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. That's why we have our one-on-one conversations. And then if LinkedIn, that's also a great commodity. I've had a lot of individuals that I work with get hired from LinkedIn. So the headshots that you make are going to go on your LinkedIn profile. Okay. So that way you can be presented off as the professional that you want to be. All right. So you will want to be present for some of for most of these actually, because there's going to be different activities that we do. It's going to be a lot of information that's given out. So expect an email from me after our call later this afternoon with the schedule, so you can be here. Okay, be here, be present. All right, and the career planning guide that we're going to talk about, and the route to rocking the interview. All right, so those are things that you want to be here for. All right, so any questions on that schedule or anything? Okay, cool. This one wants to stay very well. All right, so next portion we're going to go through is the career planning guide. Can you, yeah, on here, and so we can kind of like walk through it a bit. So we're going to get it pulled up on the screen. Give us a second. But everybody that's in here, so we're going to start with this pathway to career planning. All right, so this, we're going to get it on the screen. So give us a second, we'll get it on the screen, and then we'll go from that point.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Is it possible to use this class for like early learning to put it down so we can be able to get our kids in daycare and stuff, or no? Do you have any idea?
I don't know about that. What's that question, Ms. Johnson?
Like for early learning, can we list this class? Because early learning, you have to either be working or going to school. Can we list this class to get daycare? Do you know?
I can find that out for you.
Okay.
And I'll let you know today.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Okay. Okay, so Miss LaKai is gonna get this pulled up, but we're gonna go through this and oh, you're good. Okay, all right, so page 1, the career planning guide pretty much is a place for you to write down what your goals are. Because like we just talked about, the mindset thing, it's, you know, making sure that you're ready to get to the next place in your career. So I'm not going to read through all of this, but this is for your future career path that you're taking. Okay. Over the next 3 to 5 years, what do you want to see yourself being? Where do you want to go in your career at this point? Now I say career because you don't just look for a job, you can get a job anywhere, but when you have a career, right? You know that there is a elevated path that you're taking in your career, right? So that is the whole point here. We are career growth, we're career development, all right? Not job development. We can go to Career Source and get a job anywhere, right? And then we leave that job in a year because we're not satisfied or happy. We want a career path that we can be on. Corey has a career path. Cecil has a career path. Ms. Hernandez, when she was here, has a career path. Everybody here on this call has a career path. So we're going to take steps to get there. Okay. Pathway to career planning, I was on the screen too. So we're going to establish your overall goals from this page, from this workbook, and then breaking down your goals into smaller steps using the SMART goals. Everyone heard of SMART goals? SMART, anybody? Raise your hand if you know what SMART goals are. Nope. You know, you don't count.
Setting aside little goals from small goals, I guess. Like,
necessarily. So SMART goals, it breaks down into, did I put it as a sheet on here? I don't think so. All right, SMART goals is S is specific, M is measurable, A is, what is A again? Action, and then R is, and T is time. Okay, so, specific, measurable, action, react,
They might be attainable.
attainable, and then realistic, and then time. Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time. Okay, so we all have a SMART goal right now. We just haven't put it down on paper, so we're gonna put it on paper here.
I'm sorry, you said time?
Time is the last one. Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time. Can you put that in the chat? Because so you can write it down. Should have had a slide for that one. I didn't think about that. All right, cool. So you're gonna break down your goals into smaller steps using the SMART goals. All right, that is to set up, to write down concrete means to achieve your goals, identify the barriers of your goals, figure out means to defeat these barriers. So we already talked about some of the barriers, giving yourself permission, taking some action steps, things of that nature, right? We talked about that in the last set of slides that we worked through. So this time you are going to write them down into small steps that you're going to achieve. So if you go to, actually this whole thing is, all right, so page, flip through a couple slides. It's the one that says my career goals. It's this one right here. I didn't number them, unfortunately. Okay, that one. Okay. So go to Lakaya, go to this slide here. That says my career goals, short-term, professional, personal. Keep going through a bit. A few more. Couple, yep, this one right here. This one right here. All right, so cool. So, all right, so your career goals. We just talked about breaking them down into smaller goals, and this is how you break them down into smaller goals. Using things that you need to get done within the next 12 months. And then things that you need to get done within the next couple of years, okay? Everybody's pathway is different. So when you get this workbook right now, you can take a couple of notes on it. If you want to go ahead and start writing down some of your SMART goals, you sure can. But you really want to define what you need to have done within the next year. What do you want done in the next year? Specifically, let's say, secure a position with opportunities for progression on demonstration and your demonstration of ability. That is a professional goal that you want to complete. A personal goal is to visit family and connect with friends by spending time with them doing X, Y, and Z, right? You got family in North Carolina. I need to go see my 7-year-old grandmother. I need to spend time with her, right? So that's a personal goal that I want to complete. So what do you need to do in the next year in order to complete professional and personal goals? All right. So take some time, write it down, write down 1 or 2 goals that you need to get done professionally and personally. But then the next year, So that's good. So I'll give you some time to do that. While you are writing down your goals, you are letting yourself know that there are barriers to get there, but because I have a goal that I need to complete, that I need to get through, I'm going to take these necessary steps professionally and personally so that way I can make my goals happen, all right? You can't be dependent on everything else that you're going through. Your circumstances and your situations are temporary. They are temporary, okay? I can't spell that out like I said it, but temporary, all right? So you have to have some things in place, write them down, write the vision, make them plain in order for you to get there. Professional development. So I'll give you some more time to do that. And then if you want to share, you can. Share one of your goals. You got it? Want to share your goal? Okay, that's a good job. Okay, all right. That's a good goal to get.
Right now, I'm still remote, right?
Okay.
Because, you know, personally, my son's diabetic. Just, you know, so a lot of it is more of medical.
Mhm.
And, you know, trying to be there as a mom and looking outside is kind of hard.
Yeah.
Because mentally it's kind of pretty good constantly.
Okay, yeah. So there are opportunities where open enrollment is starting to happen in the next couple of weeks, really. And so companies that have a healthcare background, you have a healthcare background, it makes it a lot easier for you to get into that type of position. Now, I can't say whether or not they're all going to be remote positions or not, but the fact that you get into the company, you do really well, you know, and it is a remote opportunity, you got to just make sure that you're on it, because now remote is not remote like it was through COVID. They are on you like fire, okay? They are micromanaging you. They're making sure you're not surfing the web when you're not supposed to. I know somebody who got fired from a big Fortune 500 company because he would walk away, leave YouTube on, and the camera was watching him, not doing his work, right? But if the screen will stay on, because you know YouTube will keep the screen on for you, so he'll walk away from his computer, but the screen was recording him. So that's how technology allowed for him to get fired, right? So remote capabilities, sometimes it can be a little bit detrimental because you're now having to do a lot more, as you have to be a lot more active than what you would if you were working in a hybrid situation or working, you know, in an office. So you have to think about medical is where why you are wanting to do what you want to do. Just know that there are going to be some things that comes with that. Okay. And same thing if you were working in an office, same some things that come with that. You might still have a micromanaging boss. You know, they just kind of want to breathe down your neck all the time, making sure you do your job. So it works both ways. But you can do what you need to do with your mind. Right.
I don't want to just get something that is, you know, just like say for the day. And then, you know, everything happens at night, you know, like with kids. But I don't want to just get a job because I need to, you know, especially at night, you know, I'm trying to help out. I want to be able to do it. For my home, but something that I can help and do something, you know.
Yeah, see, there you go. You can do a lot of things with it. So good. So we'll kind of narrow in on that goal a little bit and making sure that you find a position that can meet your family needs and also your personal needs too. All right. So good. So I'm thinking. I'm gonna walk away today and I'll be like, my brain is so on fire. You should see me if I'm looking at a resume. Like I'll look at a resume I've looked at hundreds and thousands. I don't think thousands. I don't know. Maybe I can say thousands, but I've looked at so many resumes. If you put a resume in front of me right now, I can say, oh, okay, this is the type of job you want. And I'll be like, okay, here's this is the job title you look at, or this is the type of job you're looking at, or whatever. Don't make my brain go on fire. So good. So yes, I always see what's next for somebody. I always see opportunities. So hopefully everybody kind of get their opportunities. So good. Anybody on the screen up here watching virtually have a short-term goal that they want to accomplish in the next year? I want to call on, who wants to volunteer? I'm gonna call on nobody. Who wants to volunteer? What you say, Rita? You don't have one. I can read lips a little bit. You have a goal. You got college credits right now for your associate's degree. You have a career that you're working into. What is next for you?
No, it's just for my business. I want to get my business license back going. And I only have these barriers because my disability now, and I got in a bad car accident. It messed up a lot of my back area, and I suffer a lot from that. So my ambition from like actually doing hair, which was my number one top thing I love the most, it kind of went down my ambition for it. But I'm just a multi-hustler. So
Okay.
I want to get back into
Multi
business.
hustler. Okay, I like that terminology.
So I wanted to get my business license going back for that because I could sell and whatever and great at it. So
All right, so good. So what is it that you can do in the time being that will meet your passions, right? You like hair, you like beauty. Is that what I'm getting, right? All right, and then you also want to be able to have your own business again, right? So, but there are a few things that are stopping you right now medically that are stopping you from getting there. One thing that I want you to think about is what are some alternatives? I told the story earlier of my friend who she's not even she's barely a U.S. citizen, but she just got hired on at Paul Mitchell at $20 an hour, not expecting to be in that position. What is it that you can do as an alternative that's going to bring you in consistent income, that's going to meet your passion, but also allow for you to be the great mother that you are? So those are things that you need to take that barrier with and say, you know what, I'm not going to have that barrier anymore. I'm going to do some other things that I'm passionate about and help people with beauty in a different way. What would that be for you? What are I feel like the mind is twirling a little bit because there's opportunities for you to do what you love without you having to put that strain on your body.
Well, my first thing is to get my license back on, which is the money part. That's really like my biggest barrier of just renewing my license for my business. And then start back with branding myself, like selling the hair, selling the lashes, and I make little things. I like to make stuff, so I could start somewhere there. So it's just like a lot of stress really going on right now because of my situation. I'm just trying to find myself again. So that's where I'm at with it.
Okay. A part of finding yourself is doing some of the things that you don't want to do to get to where you want to be. Okay. It is not easy to run a business. I have a team behind me, and it's not the easiest thing to do. I don't have to put a physical strain on myself to do it, but you do in your profession. You have to put a physical strain on yourself. So what are some other things that you can do at this moment in order for you to get there? There are so many beauty companies right now that you can learn from them. And then when it's time for you to get to where you want to be, right, for you to get into that, to have your business again, and you've learned all the skills, you learn how to maneuver through a business, you know how to, look at the ROI, which is return on investment, you know how to do the numbers, do all of those little things because you set it because you worked with somebody who's already in it and you saw what they went through. Even if it is you going in as their assistant or you going in as an office manager or something of that nature, you are learning from somebody else's business so that when it's your time, because it's not going to happen overnight. You're not going to grow your business overnight. It's not going to be $1 million in a weekend, right? It's going to take you 5-10 years to get there, So you have to learn from somebody else and use them as a stepping stone to get where you need to go. So I'm saying to you now, it is a great a 5-year goal for you to have your business and be fully functioning inside of your business. but a short-term goal will be for you to find a position and opportunity that allows for you to grow and learn a bit. And so that you can take notes, because you're a big note taker. You can take mental notes, you can write some things down and then take it with you to your business that you're gonna have. And you can start building your business in the background, doing all the little things in the background, getting the supplies and the tools that you need, building that marketing, all that stuff. That costs money. That costs a lot of money to do. Am I right, Avery? It don't cost money. It costs money, right? She knows she's the videographer. It costs money, right? So you have to use other people in a way, use other people to get to where you need to get to. All right.
And another thing, to be honest, Miss Pearson, I ask God all the time on a spiritual note. I ask him all the time, what is my purpose? What is my purpose? What is my purpose? What is my purpose? I've tried so much stuff, and I heard you say earlier, you got some people out here who can do everything. I do believe I'm one of them people that could do everything you put me to task to. I can do it. And in the midst of my trials and tribulations, I figured I do have a higher purpose.
Yeah.
And that's also another thing I've been, tapping into lately.
Mhm.
So I'm trying to mix the two, physical and spiritually. What is it is my calling? I understand my calling a little more now because my life journey took me there. And then I'm also trying to figure out the other part of me, physical stuff that I am gifted to do, but my spirituality been kicking in more and more and more lately. And yeah, it's a breakthrough going on. So that's why I be like, I know what God really trying to tell me to do, but in the midst of it, I be trying to take my own path. And that's what made my steps hard for me. So that's why I said I want to talk to you one-on-one.
Yeah, we're going to talk. I'm going to say this to you, and I'm saying this to everyone here. Everyone has a purpose. Everyone has a purpose on this earth. And you leave this earth, what are you going to leave behind on it? Now, there's a book. I have I hate to say this on recording, but I have the copy that I'm supposed to be giving out copy of the book. It's called The Purpose Driven Life. I've been reading this book now for the past month. Okay. That is a great book. The Purpose Driven Life. Yep, Purpose Driven Life. Everybody has a purpose in this world. And there is, if you feel as if there's a breakthrough happening for you, it's because that you know that what you want, what God wants you to do, right, is right in front of you. You're just looking everywhere else and like, oh Lord, what do you want me to do? And he's like, it's right here. Like, I cannot do anything else but say, this is it. Like, this is it. You have to go through everything that you're skipping all over. Like, no, it's right in front of you. That's purpose. Whatever you see, whatever you always see kind of pop up. And that's the thing that God is like, I want you to do this. I need you to do that. But it all depends on you using your clear mind, not the peripheral vision, and getting there. Okay. So The Purpose Driven Life. Okay. I'll email you the copy that I'm supposed to share a copy. So that way you can read it. It is a daily devotional book. I've been reading it for 2 months because it literally, some of it I marinate on for a couple of days. But some of it I marinate on a couple of days, and there is, everybody knows Noah's Ark, and I'm going to get back on topic in a second. Everybody knows Noah's Ark, right? Noah's Ark. He spent 120 years building this ark, and everybody thought he was dumb, he was stupid, he's not supposed to be doing this. Like, why is he doing this? His family, they were kind of like on the fence and everything, but he knew that there was a reason why he needed to take this path. For 120 years, he built an ark, and he gave two of each animal. This is the basic storybook. I mean, y'all learned this in Sunday school, so you know the story of it. But the fact that he had faith in what his purpose was, yes, he had faith in his purpose, which was to build this ark. That when he was done building it, the storm that came, he was protected. He had the ark, he had everything on it that God had asked him for. But it took him having the faith to believe in it for years to come for him to get there. So what are you believing in that's going to get you to your purpose? What are you believing in that God is saying, you need to give me more faith, you need to give me your heart, you need to give me everything that I need for you to have at this moment. So there are, Rita, I know this is for you, but I want everybody to hear this, that you have a purpose on this earth. You have families to take care of. You have your own personal passions. You have things that you want to do that you're not doing, and it's because you put yourself in the middle of it. You're not riding this roller coaster ride with God. You are letting him be the controller, and that's not right. He's supposed to be on it with you and riding this journey with you. Okay. So hopefully that helped. We're gonna have our call and we'll talk a little bit more. Okay. Don't make me cry. I just said that. Don't make me cry.
He's over here tearing over here.
Well, I know I do that every time.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Differently for different people.
Yeah. Yeah, it always is. It's always is. There was a reason why. A quick story here before I go on. So last night I go to Young Adults Bible study. My church is Bible-based fellowship church. It's in Sherwood. If you ever want to stop by, open arms. They will take you, and you are. You don't have to. Hey, I go sometimes, so it's all right. So but in Young Adults last night, he was the pastor. He was talking about the negative and the positive, right? That the storm that you go through in life, it is still God putting you through that storm. It is him telling you that I am testing you to see how you react in the storm. So the journey that you are on in your life at this moment is because you are being tested. How you push through this storm, this test right now, and it is a multiple choice test sometimes. Sometimes it is short answer. It may be a true and false that you are going through at this moment. But the fact is that this test that you're taking, it is not fail or pass. It's not fail or pass. It is just the journey that you're taking through. Okay? So this is just a test. It's just the little thing that you go through. And you get through it. You're gonna get through it just like you did everything else. You didn't end up on this earth overnight, right? It took you years to get to where you are right now. And there are other tests that you've been through in your life. The fact is, you just got to get through this next one. And it's going to be the one that's pushing you to that next goal that you're running to hit, that next step in your personal life, the next step in your professional life. That's you making sure that you have enough finances in your home coming through on your own, and you're not having to depend on somebody else to help you to get your bills paid. Right? It is the fact that you have this test, and you have to continue to push yourself through it. Push yourself through it. Okay. All right. So I'm going to stop with that. And let's see. So we're going to get back on track here. So everybody writing down some short-term goals, professional and personal goals. You all have some that you're trying to get accomplished. And then there is your midterm. So oh, it is? Okay, we're gonna possibly go over. I'm sorry, guys. Everyone have about 30 more minutes? 30 more minutes? Okay. All right, cool. I'm gonna stay on track. Thank you. All right, so personal, professional goals, midterm goals. Midterm is 2 to 5 years. That is what you want to see yourself going. If you need to get a degree, or if you need to get a certain certification or whatever, or if you have a goal in 5 years, you want to be able to buy a house, all of that stuff. That's your midterm goals. You can go to the next one. And then, is it going to let you? Okay, so Then you have your long-term goals. You want to write these down as well. So what I want you to do with this packet here is fill in as much as you can. All right. And then when we talk on a 101, if you have more questions about it, you can go in and have it. All right, cool. So go ahead and have your lunch. We'll see you next time. I'm going to email you all this and you can write it out. Or if you come on next week, then you can get a hard copy of it next week, okay? And then, so this is, so you're gonna really fill in the rest of this. Let's see, is there anything in particular that I wanted to pull out of here? Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one, Beatrice.
You too.
All right, so I did. All right, so skip over one more. The career roadmap action plan. All right, so I want you to break it down even further. So got 6 months, 12 months, so on and so forth. But I want you to break down some of those goals even further, what you want yourself to have accomplished using this roadmap here. And so certain things that you want to accomplish. Okay, so that's this. I'm trying to run through so we don't have to go to 12:30. Okay, yep, and so it goes all the way through, blah, blah, blah. All right, and that's it. So this workbook, oh yeah, I'm going to think through. Yeah, that's it. Yep. Okay. So this workbook here, all right, I'm going to send digital copies so you all have it. If you come next week, which is what I keep saying, come next week. All right. Bring the kiddos, they can sit in the back, and so that way you can like get this in person. Okay. And then we will kind of go from there. There are other things as well that you're going to get in the email from me. So if you, I think I have emails that was on the paper, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I got everybody's email. So just expect to get that from me. My email and phone number is in the chat as well. If you scroll up a little bit, I put that in there. So feel free to reach out to me and get connected with me that way. But I'm definitely going to reach out and set everybody up with a call so we can talk one-on-one, so I can be as much of a positive help for everybody as possible throughout this journey. Okay. My ultimate goal is to have everybody here land a job. Okay. We want Metro Ministries to, oh, look at this little one. We want Metro Ministries to know that they're in good hands when they have Liddy Pearson in the building.
All right, Liddy. Come on through, Miss Liddy.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so Miss Kimball, I will need you to email me the people that you have.
They're on here too.
They're on the list too? Okay.
Yeah. They're on here. Everything, but she can, but everybody that's online, their emails and the phone numbers are on that picture that.
Okay, all right, well, good. Okay, well, good, awesome. So great. So yeah, we'll get everybody email this, and then they may need this printed out too, Miss Kimberly, if they ask you if they're not coming down here.
Okay.
I'll email it all to you too. Is her email up there?
Kimberly's. No, it'll be her first name dot her last name at
Okay.
So Kimberly.Wilson at metromin.org.
Okay. Okay, I'll email you. Okay, I'll email you as well, so that way you have all the copies.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for being on too. That's really super helpful. Any questions, any comments or anything before we close out?
Thank you, but I'm coming downstairs to get the book.
Okay, all right. Yes, you can come down and grab yours. So I'm gonna leave you all with the final devotion. You what was my devotional thing that I was gonna say today? Don't be a consumer, be a producer. You have a gift, use your gift. All right. And that is from Eric Thomas, a lovely motivational speaker. Listen to something positive today. Keep yourself uplifted throughout this week. And you all have an absolutely amazing rest of your week. See you next Wednesday, 10 a.m.
Bye.
All right, you have it here, so. Bye.
Thank you.
Okay. You guys don't be a consumer. I'll be a consumer, be a producer, you can get. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I got little mirrors and stuff. But I know I did a video with my daughter. Oh, yeah. You want another color? Yeah.
Okay. Don't be a consumer, be a producer. And what was the last part?
Use your gift.
Oh, yeah.
Use your gift. How you like it? Like Tawana,